Hi everyone, my name is Adam, this is Veronica, and today we'll be talking about the JLPT exam. I hope you'll find the information in this video useful, and let's get to it. Okay, so first question, please tell me, what is JLPT?
JLPT stands for Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It started in 1984 as a way to measure knowledge of Japanese language for non-native speakers. These days, native speakers can take it also to check how well they know their own language, but it's still usually mostly used for non-native speakers, whether for work or personal purposes.
I see. Okay, so I heard there are levels to JLPT. Could you tell me how you classify them?
Yes, so there are 5 levels from N5 to N1. N5 is the easiest and N1 is the hardest one.
Alright.
And they differ in amount of kanji you need to know, the amount of grammar rules you need to know, and obviously how well you can speak and listen. Even though there is no speaking part, the test consists, all of the levels consist only of 3 parts.
Okay.
The kanji knowledge, then there's the grammar and like vocabulary, and then there is a listening part.
Nice.
And all of these 5 have these 3 parts, and N5 is the easiest. You just need to know around 100 kanji, the very basic grammar rules, and listening. Well, if you watch anime, you can pass basically. Yeah, and then the amount of kanji and amount of grammar rules increases. The biggest jump is the jump from N3 to N2, because N2 and N1 are considered the levels where you actually like really know Japanese.
I see.
If you want to work in Japan, usually you need N1, but there are companies that are fine with N2, so that's why there is a very big increase in knowledge of kanji, grammar rules, and the listening part, the speaking. And this, it's also a lot harder. You also in N2 and N1 you also are required to know Keigo, which is the polite version of Japanese language.
Oh, okay.
Is the thing you hear in animes or in Japanese live, where they're using very, very long phrases to just say, please give me water.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's why N2 and N1 are like the highest leveled ones and the very difficult ones, because you are getting closer to being the nature Japan.
Understood. I would say I consider myself N6 for now. Okay, but what made you actually decide to take JLPT?
I'm a person that likes to try new things, so when I started learning Japanese, I did not really even think about making a certificate and taking the exam, but at some point I was like, I think I know enough, I could try it, so I just simply went for it.
Yeah, why not? Okay, what were you actually afraid of when you were signing up for JLPT?
Would it be funny if I say nothing, no fears? For someone that spent almost 500 krona on signing up for the test, it might sound a bit crazy, but yeah, like I mentioned, I just went for it, and I think that helped me to have no fears. And I'm also really bad at listening, so I was more or less expecting myself to just basically get few points from listening. I'm really good at kanji, so I was kind of looking forward to that part.
Yeah.
But except for that, I basically had 0 expectations. I wanted to try it, how the big Japanese language test looked like. So
okay, so mostly listening, but other than that, you were still chilling.
Yes, but it was not even necessarily a fear of listening. It was like,
yeah, you knew you're, yeah.
Yes, I'll probably mess up the listening, but it's gonna be fun experience. So
Fair enough.
I went with it.
Okay, next thing. Could you tell me, how did you prepare for your exam?
So firstly, I had to learn myself hiragana and katakana, which is the basic writing systems of Japanese, because I was like 0 knowledge of Japanese, just watching anime. So I had to start somewhere, and this was basically my beginning. And I found some, I think in my opinion, very good courses on online learning platform Udemy.
Alright.
From Japanese online school Attain, if I remember correctly. and they had a very nicely done beginner courses for Japanese with hiragana and katakana.
Nice.
Later, I took their course with kanji. It was specifically focused on kanji for N5 level, which is the one I took, so the lowest one, since I just started with proper learning of Japanese. I was Later I took their N5 course for grammar, and after that it was just watching anime and trying to get hang of everything. And later I really wanted to translate the manga by myself.
Right.
So I bought my favorite manga from Japan. I mean, it was imported from Japan to Europe, so that was very cool. Holding in my hands a first Japan book in my hands, it was really nice feeling. And then I dig into it. I started translating bubble by bubble, kanji by kanji. It took me sometimes it took me even 2 hours to translate
Wow.
2 to 3 pages.
That's impressive.
Yes, it was not because it was that hard to translate, but I really wanted to understand the language.
Yeah.
So I was analyzing word by word the grammar structures of the bubbles. I was looking into the origin of the kanjis. How are the kanji? Yeah, the origins of the kanji. Why did they
Yes.
look like how they look like? What their meaning is? How they fit in other words? And this took me a very long time. And after that, of course, I also used the well-known app Duolingo, but it's not that good for grammar. But it's really good if you want to get hang of hiragana, katakana, and kanji and vocabulary. The grammar structures are not that well done in the app, I think, but for vocabulary and kanji and hiragana and katakana, it's really good.
Okay, nice. Best to learn for practice, I would say.
Yes, exactly. Anime and manga are the best.
Did you have any schedule for studying for the exam?
No, not really. I was self-taught, so it was all up to myself, and I just studied whenever I had time, and I was just checking that the exam is on 1st of December, and that was it basically.
Okay, nice. And how did you feel during the day of the exam?
Pretty calm, if I remember.
Oh, really?
I was very chill. I was just really excited to take this Japanese exam because it was a piece of Japan in my hands.
Of course.
And I think I just read a bit of the manga, I translated and checked some YouTube videos, but that was it. Nothing big, no big preparations, just very chill and calm and maybe a bit too excited.
Okay. You mentioned before that you had a bit of trouble with listening part. How did you actually overcome it?
So I just tried not to focus on the fact that it's making me troubles, and I tried to watch anime as much as possible, and I tried not to read the subtitles.
Of course.
I tried to focus on what the characters are saying. I tried to focus on the sound of it and use the subtitles as like a guideline. So where others just watch anime because it's hobby, it's nice, it's fun, and then just read subtitles, for me, I was really focused on trying to get as much from what they are saying as possible and catch the phrases. So.
Cool. Learning from practice. Again. Did anything surprise you during the exam?
Yes, actually it did. And it was not stress nor difficult exercise. It was a silly mistake during a listening part. The thing with the listening part is once the recording starts, it does not stop, and the recording just goes through all the sections. And once it's done, the supervisors, the people watching over, they collect the answer sheets, and that's it. Thing is done. So what happened with me? In the second section of the listening, I by accident marked an answer for question 1 as answer to question 2.
Oh.
And that moved all of my answers by 1.
Yes.
So once I got to question 7, there was still one more dialogue to run, but I had no more lines where to put my answer. And then I looked a bit up and was like, oh, there's an empty row for question 1.
Oh, that's harsh.
I guess I moved it. So what I had to do was try to remember as much as I can what were the dialogues from the section 2 while the dialogues for section 3 already started, since the recording just ran through.
Wow.
So it was a little bit of multitasking in between the exam, but listening to what the dialogues for section 3 are about,
Yeah.
quickly marking their answers. In between, where there was little pause between the dialogues, I had to go back to section 2 and remove the answers and mark the new ones, while still I had to change some because I remembered, oh, they said it was green dress, not red dress. They turned right to the street, not left.
Wow.
And
Sounds like a lot of things to manage.
yes, and it was a very crazy thing to happen, and it was literally the last part of the whole exam. So
Wow.
that was very surprising thing. There was not surprise caused by the exam itself, but by my own mistake.
Yeah, it
But
happens.
it happens. It happens. So whenever someone, maybe you, someone else who is watching the video,
Yeah.
take JLPT, be careful when marking the answers correctly. Mainly in the listening part.
Yes.
It's tough and fast.
And when you got your results from the exam, what was your first reaction?
So firstly, we got the results few months after the exam itself. So we took the exam on 1st December,
Wow.
and I got the results, if I remember, around like end of February, March,
All right.
and it was big thing because JLPT results are out. So I went to log in and check, and my first reaction was something like, huh, what? I actually passed?
What a surprise.
Yes, I was very surprised because with the mistake I did in the listening part and the whole way how I did it, like in a very chill way, like let's just see what it does, and I did actually pass. I could not believe it, honestly. I was very surprised, and yeah, as I expected, I barely passed the listening part, and my overall score because of that was barely a pass. But I think I just passed by 3 points below, over
Wow.
just 3 points over the necessary amount of points I had to.
Okay.
And as expected, my kanji part was very good. It was not full 100%, but I think it was between like 80-90% from the points I got.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a bit of a kanji nerd. Oh, that was a big surprise. I was, wow, I actually did pass it. Like, I got the certificate. It was crazy feeling,
Pass is
honestly.
a pass.
Pass is a pass.
Nice. All right. So, what are your thoughts and plans now that you have the results of the exam?
Well, I definitely want to continue studying Japanese because the fact that I passed gave me just even more confidence to continue. And maybe if I manage to and have time, money, space, I would like to enroll myself in some maybe proper online Japanese class, maybe get myself some private teacher, or even if I'll just keep translating my mangas and watching anime and just keep learning. And I would like to take the N3 exam because that's like the higher one. I don't think I will have the will and power and knowledge to get to N2, but if that happens, that would be crazy.
Okay. Can you actually skip directly from N5 to N3?
Yes, the levels are however you like. You can take whichever you like based on your knowledge and based on how you feel like. So yes, if you feel like you have enough knowledge, you can just straight up go for N2, sign up for it, pay the fee, and go for it. You're free to. I took the N5 because it was like new experience, and I was not sure how it's gonna look like and everything. And even though I've been studying the, Japanese by myself for around 2 years before I took the exam, actually, I was still self-taught, and I did not have enough confidence to pass N4. So it was basically a safety net, and even if I did not pass N5, I would still see how the test looks like, so I would know for future.
Of course.
Now I know, so I don't really want to spend money on taking the N4 if I can just skip into N3 later.
Okay, so let's say if I want to take the exam, what would be your advice for me?
Well, first check which level your knowledge are, which level you feel like. You can check it online. There are many websites where you can check the amount of kanji and grammar rules and vocabulary you approximately need to know for each level.
Okay.
So from that you can approximate how well you know Japanese and which is the right level for you to take, the JLPT level. Also, there are various cities where you can take the JLPT exam. So you can also check it on the JLPT official website. I don't really remember one, but it's probably like jlpt.com
All right.
or something. And I took the exam on 1st December, but there are some countries and cities where you can take it only on 1st July, I think. You can take the test basically twice per year,
Wow.
only twice per year in wherever in the list of specific countries.
Yeah.
And in some countries and cities it's only in July in summer or only in December. Some do the test on both times, on both days, but it's unified. It's unified for everyone. So sometimes you can feel like you're writing the test and there are thousands of others people writing the same test on the same day.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. So check on which time and date your exam is, and then which level to take, and then just depending on what you're more confident in, just try to focus on the other thing. For example, me, I was very good at kanji, so I later tried to focus more on the listening part because that's what I had trouble with.
All right.
And just Duolingo helps always. It's a simple, easy
Yeah.
app that can get you learning anytime, and then you just get drawn in, I think, and
Nice.
it's just gonna go.
Okay, perfect. Fingers crossed. Alright, so that will be it for our JLPT vlog video. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.